Hey gang, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am your host. We're going to go over a Evenflo Revolve360 Extend car seat installation. So we're really excited. I've done this video once before, but I want to go over it again and highlight some of the stuff about the recline. So let's install it and then talk a little bit about the recline and the depth of the seat while it's installed, because people want to use it for extended rear facing. So let's see how realistic that actually is. All right, so first step is going to be hooking up your tub holder. I'm able to do this on my car pretty easily. Recline that back slightly. Now, oops, I hit the button. There we go. Now we've got it all set up, and I'm going to tighten that up just a little bit. Sit this up just a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up the belt lock lever, which is this guy right here. And I'm going to use seatbelt for this installation because the lower anchor here would top out at either 30 or 35 pounds, depending on the seat orientation. I don't want to reinstall the seat. The whole beauty of these type of seats is that you don't have to reinstall them. So I'm going to just install it one time with a lap and shoulder belt. I'm going to utilize this blue belt path that you see right here. I am going to buckle. And then I'm going to make sure that my belt is lined up under the teeth. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this by pressing down and pulling up. And I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to get super insane with how tight I'm going to get it, because a lot of the tightening is going to be done by this arm right here. So this is going to go ahead and lock it. And our window turned green. So it didn't make a huge sound, but we did get a green window there to indicate that that's locked. But it isn't a true lock off, so we're going to go ahead and take our seatbelt, pull it all the way out, because this is a switchable locking retractor, and let it lock back. Now we know it's locked off. We're going to take the base and pull it, and that is not moving. That is in there very, very tightly. So this base is installed, and now we'll go ahead and we'll put the seat directly on it. At this point, I will have the cameraman stop and come on over to my side so we can talk about some of those recline features that we were talking about. Okay, so now we're ready to put our Revolve car seat into the base. So if you notice here, there's an arrow. There's also an arrow here on the seat. We're gonna go ahead and line those guys up. I also have arrows on my side in the back. There we go. So now lined up, and then the seat will turn. And this is what I wanted to show off for the information for my audience. So if you look on the side of the seat over here, there should be a level that's in white and black. The white would indicate that is going to be for children between 4 and 20 pounds. And then the black spectrum is going to be for kiddos in the heavier weight range, which is 20 to 50 pounds. So the thing that's a little confusing to me is that that white spectrum is the entire top to bottom. And I know from personal experience in dealing with little babies that the goal with infants is to make sure their head doesn't tip down. And in fact, if you look here, we would utilize an infant pillow like this if we were doing it with a really small baby. And even in the book, they indicate you would fold this pillow up and over to create the correct recline level for a newborn. So we'll get some clarification on that, but what's interesting here is that for our really small children, we'll assume it's the back two positions. We've got either white, and that's the second white position. So we have two positions there. And then for even bigger kiddos, we have one. Oh, there's two in there, two. So there's a total of 4 recline positions. I would say 2 for very little and 2 for bigger kids. Now, when you spin the seat forward facing, the seat has to be fully reclined in order to hit up all the way and lock in. But just to show you something kind of interesting that I noticed, you can have it sitting upright, spin it about halfway, and then go ahead and engage the recline to make it line up to be forward facing. Why does this matter? It matters because if you're concerned about your seat having enough clearance and space, that would be something, because you can use this in extended rear facing, you'd want to make sure, like if the seat's more upright, you have more clearance to be able to get where you want to go. And that being said, we need to verify for heavier kids if they can be on that deeper recline. It doesn't look like on the spectrum that that's the intention, but we will get clarification about that. But the other part that we wanted to talk about is the depth of the seat. So when it's in its newborn mode, which is most reclined with the headrest all the way down, so it's shell to the back here, you're at 31.5 inches. So this is a deep seat. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you were going to use this with extended rear facing and have that headpiece come out, now you're looking at 35.5 inches. At its most reclined, realistically would be more upright, but even so, still about 33.5 inches. So it would be a little bit deeper seat to use for the extended recline, but definitely a nice option because we can still turn it toward the door and do all that cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, leave them below. Please feel free to hit like, follow, subscribe if it makes sense. And if it makes sense to share this video, go ahead and share it with someone because sharing is caring. And we will see you in our next install video.